No Ray Lows, no Ray Nobodies. We are here to talk today Disney, the layoffs, what's going on with Kathleen Kennedy according to Kamran Pasha, and Bob Iger's a little bit of a masochist. So I'm going to turn the light on in the kitchen so I can sit down. And this one. Yeah, that one. And now we have some light. So I hope everybody's doing good today. It is Tuesday. And tomorrow we get the end of the Bad Batch season finale, which was 16 episodes. It's been a decent season. Look, I am not... Hey, just some other guy. How you doing? I am not a huge fan of the Bad Batch. I don't particularly like humanizing clones that much. Hey, Rave Girl, but it's been a good season. So, let's get to it. I will try. Yes, it's been a whirlwind. So, it looks to me like today, the meta part of Disney, that division, Disney shutting that down. Okay. Yesterday, they got rid of a bunch of executives. I didn't necessarily talk about them because I'm not in their general entertainment division. We're more focused on Lucasfilm and hey, Cross, and where it's going. So the layoffs are happening, and we're going to hear more throughout the week. And then after they're going to, I don't mind them. Just some other guy. I watched all of it. Partially it gave me something to do, and it's interesting, but I need Jedi. I need Corellians. I need, and we're getting a little of that, at least with The Mandalorian. So that's good. But let's talk back about what we're talking about. So the layoffs are going to continue up, and they're coming fast. Something's speeding it up. And there's a feeling, at least Kamran thinks it has something to do with the SVB bank collapse. Look, that bank was an ESG pit, and ESGs don't pay. And now they're out of business. So you do the math. Okay. But let's talk about Lucasfilm. So no word yet on any layoffs there, but they are coming. Kennedy did have her meeting with Iger, and it was UGLY. He basically flayed her, or in Marine Corps terms, dressed her, berated her down to parade rest. I mean, and she's been walking around, nothing yet, Marty, bitching to everybody at Lucasfilm because she's back, like I said yesterday, about how mad he was at her and how she's close to losing her job. And this is what he said: fix, or let me put, unfuck the ending of Indiana Jones 5, or you're leaving without your bonus. Here's something else he said: do something about the Acolyte, get rid of it, whatever you have to do. And you are the one, Kathy, who's going to deal with Karen McCarthy. And any financial settlement that you come up with is coming out of your bonus. Okay. He's basically making her do her job, which is good, I think. I'm very happy with that. Because she hasn't done her job since she got there. She's been a joke. So that is what's going on with her. And the flying monkeys on Twitter have been very quiet. Pablo is posting pictures of Transformers. He's not a really good artist with that either, by the way. It's like you order a Transformer from Wish and it looks one way, and it kind of draws out the Wish Transformers. Okay. Anyway, so you've got that going on, and let's talk about what could happen. I think if because they're closing down divisions, all right, at Disney, that you might see part of. Hey, Mikey, how you doing? Oh, great, wonderful. I'm glad you're here too, Mike. You might see part of Lucasfilm San Francisco shut down. They might look at that and say, we would rather have those creatives up there down here and bring the people they're going to keep to Burbank and get rid of the rest of them. And what you'd have in San Francisco is the special effects department, animation, and things like that. Those people would stay, but the creative part, the publishing and all that, because that's where it all is, will come down to Burbank. See, to me, when people say they should just shut down Lucasfilm San Francisco, it's like, look, that's where it started. Okay. I think what I would do is I would only shut the creative part down. Part of the mystique of Lucasfilm is that it's not part of Hollywood, and Disney's headquarters is in Hollywood. It's in Burbank, which is fine, but it is very counterintuitive when you've got people like Pablo Hidalgo living in San Francisco, causing so much trouble and not being under the eye of the mouse, which, the guys at ILM in Marin County and at the offices in where Lucasfilm is and at the ranch are not the problem. It is the creatives, the story group, the publishing part. When you've got them hiring Claudia Gray, which I might get into that. I have a theory on what's going on with the High Republic, because the original authors don't look like they're writing books anymore for the High Republic. They've got a bunch of new authors, and I think it's probably a desperation attempt. But I do think that they're going to bring in the creative elements of Lucasfilm, and they should, to Burbank under one roof so they can be policed. Okay, because I'm pretty sure Dave Filoni, if he had walked in to Skywalker Ranch in that meeting where the whiteboard was, he'd have had a shit fit. Okay, he's in, I believe, Los Angeles. Okay, and you want that stuff because everything that ILM does for Lucasfilm comes after the stories are written and after principal photography, when they're in front of green screens or whatever. So when you're thinking about it, you kind of want your writers, your novelists to come to Lucasfilm offices where the real headquarters is in Burbank, where Kennedy is. She lives in, I think she either lives in Santa Monica. Sorry, Cameron. She might be your neighbor. Or she might live in the Pacific Palisades. I can't really kind of tell, but I've seen indications it's one place or the other. You want, if the head of Lucasfilm was in Los Angeles, you want everybody to be there. You want your lawyers, You want your press, you want your press, you want your social media, you want your senior vice president, all those people to be there. You don't want them up there because, sorry, a Zoom call twice, 3 times a week doesn't really give you the opportunity to walk through the offices checking in on people. Okay? Which is kind of what you kind of want to do if you're a boss. All right? So let's talk about, hey Dave, how you doing? Let's talk about this. So Kennedy's got to figure out, according to Cameron and Sparrow, what to do about Karen McCarthy. Iger said whatever compensation she gets, it's coming out of your golden parachute, your bonus, which is, I think, fucking fair. Look, Kennedy, they don't, all right, here's the deal. This is what Cameron was talking about. The money that's been shifted around to these strangely named shell corps that obviously were going to Headland, that's against the rules. Okay, that is what I think Iger is getting after. And Kennedy, probably because she's pissed off and wanted her own Star Wars show, which is like, you don't even like it. Why do you care? All right. Went ahead and I think you're right, just some other guy, but this is what we can assume. She made a deal in her JPEG that she could leave with her head held high when Indiana Jones drops. And I think it's probably going to drop after, I think she's going to leave about 2 or 3 weeks after. Somebody said that. It goes with what Sparrow has been saying, that, she's on her way out. In fact, if you go to Cameron's Patreon and read what Sparrow said, what I deduce is she's lucky she didn't get fired right there and then. And it still could happen. The powers that be, the investors, could say, get rid of her now. Just get rid of her now. Okay, look, they see the nefarious bullshit that Headland's been doing. They see that Kennedy didn't put a stop to it. All right, why? Look, honestly, first off, making a deal with that woman, Headland, was insane. Okay. Secondly, allowing her to run rogue since 2020 is even more insane. Okay. This never should have happened. She never should have been allowed anywhere near Star Wars. Now it's Kennedy's mess. She created it. Now she's got to fix it. And look, Disney does not want this to go to a lawsuit. I mean, they've already got the Victoria Alonso Cry Me a River thing going on. And look, Victoria, this isn't about her being a dyke. This isn't about her being a brown girl. This is about money, okay? And she's got the same lawyer McCarthy has. And it's probably going to go to arbitration. And she'll get a little more money, and then she'll go away. Okay. McCarthy is owed money. And what yeah, I think you're right, just some other guy. And what is going on here, and if it ever did go to trial, discovery would prove that the Acolyte is not real and never was. Even Sparrow says we don't know what the hell she's doing. She's taken, 50,000 euros here, 50,000 euros there. Money's out of these strangely named shell companies. And, we don't know what she's doing. And if you believe Bob Iger, saw it and said he liked it. I don't care if you have an audio of him saying that. I don't give a flying fuck about that. What's he gonna say in that situation? Anybody who's worked in a situation where you've got extremely powerful people and the politics that they play against each other is monumentally different than the usual office politics. He's not going to tell the truth. He's not going to say, I don't know what the fuck is going on with this. We're trying to get to the bottom of it. In fact, we're doing an audit to see where all that money goes. Look, if they find out that money that Lucasfilm didn't have was going to this fake TV show, Kennedy will get fired. I mean, look, she's got a 20% chance of getting fired before Indy 5 comes out, in my opinion. If she can't come up with a solution to the McCarthy issue, and if she can't unload Headland and her bullshit and make Disney happy, she's done. And which is why she's yelling at everybody and crying on their shoulders. Okay, now let's talk about Bob Iger's masochistic streak. I'm sure that he sat back and been there for most of her time at Lucasfilm and realized she did absolutely fucking nothing. Okay, look, that woman did not realize being a producer is hard work. She did not realize running a studio is brutal. Okay, she wasn't there. She played helicopter mom. Everything she said, like setting up a play date for John and Dave, is bullshit. Iger did that. Okay, it's all right. Sadistic streak. Okay, sorry. I gotta fix that title too. Iger's a very sadistic guy, and he's gonna make her work on the way out the door. And he's gonna, look, I think he wants to fire her. I think he wants to prove a point. I think he wants to tell Hollywood, I don't care who she is. All right? Does anybody want to argue that point now? All right. Okay, when you've got Doomcock with people saying the same thing Cameron's saying, and they're not the same connections, this stuff is real. Okay, again, the CIA, I'll give you again the rules. The CIA puts up a board and they put different things going on and they try to make a connection to what is really happening. And when you've got two or more contacts basically saying the same thing, they're pointing to something that's actually either going to happen or is happening right now. That's what's going on with all this. So doubt people if you want, but if you honestly think, look, the rags aren't touching the Acolyte with a 10-foot pole. The only place you see talking about the Acolyte is Star Wars Direct, which is a trashy shill fan internet magazine that is just fucking garbage, okay? So the Acolyte, look, Damon Lindelof's movie's not happening. Charmaine Chinoy can, resurrect, oh God, think of a great writer, film writer from the past, all right? That thing's never getting off the ground. They're not going to give her a movie, all right? Look, Star Wars Celebration is going to be pared down this year. There aren't going to be very many, if any, announcements. And it's not being streamed because it's going to be all for the love of Kathy. And they don't want people like us getting into the chat and running wild, okay? Especially after what happened with the Oscars comments and likes and dislikes. So there you go. Okay. What I suspect is we're going to hear something about the Acolyte in a week or two. Okay, Kennedy's going to have to get rid of it. She's just going to have to say we're not doing this. Okay, and I think we'll probably start hearing about layoffs at Lucasfilm because they went through general entertainment yesterday and today with the meta thing too, and I think we're going to see Pixar. I do believe that Lucasfilm is next. Okay, and we look. Carrie Beck is on the chopping block. Pablo is. Matt Martin. This kid named Jason Stein, who just looks like a little creep. Bill Sostak. Rain Roberts, who is one of the producers for The Acolyte. And it's, that's the thing. Okay, that is what's going to happen. And what I think is going to happen is the story group is going to go away and the creative part of Lucasfilm is going to be in Burbank. I think that's what that actually says. So the excuse is we're slimming down Lucasfilm and we're getting rid of the story group. These are the people we let go. They're keeping, this guy's last name is Wah, another guy, and Leland Chi. That's it. Leland Chi is a great guy. The rest of them suck. Okay. The rest of the story group is gone. All right. So, and why? Slimming it down, shutting down creative in San Francisco. There you go. But again, they have to keep some of it because I think it's tradition. I think it's heritage. I think it's nice to have a place where that George Lucas walked through the halls, the Yoda statue, and of course Skywalker Ranch, and ILM, and the rest are all up there too. So, but I do believe that the creative part in San Francisco is gone. And what I mean by creative, the writers, the story group, okay, which is why Hidalgo's the excuse for getting rid of him, but we all know what the excuse is. He's a menace. He pisses the fans off. There you go. And, Cameron just posted the hits keep on coming. Disney shuts down the meta division. Okay. Which was a Bob Chapek thing. All right. So there we go. All right. What I foresee. So I think that Acolyte within a week or 2 weeks, maybe 3, we'll hear about that going away. Leslie Headland will be persona non grata. You won't hear a word from her. We'll see the layoffs, names we know, and because the big part of this layoff issue is going to go after the investors meeting in April. Okay, and they're going to taper off towards the end of spring. All right, and then Kennedy leaves after about 2 or 3 weeks after Indy 5 drops. Okay, now again about Bob Iger's sadistic streak. I think is sick of her. He wants her to hurt. He wants her to fucking understand what she did. He's being a bully to her, but look at all the shit she pulled. Look, Mando season 3 has been good. I have no fucks to give what people think. I really, really don't. I am sick and tired of it. The only reason why they're saying it is because Gina ain't there. They left the door wide open for her to come back. These people don't even notice. And her character has no bearing on the entire story anyway. Okay, she was turned into a martyr by the fandom. And for a while, rightly so. I was part of it. But it's time to understand she is not Star Wars. Star Wars is bigger than one third-class character. All right? All right? And had Kennedy stayed out of it, I think that everybody who's deciding they hate Mando would love it. Okay, then I gotta tell you, isn't that the silliest fucking thing you ever heard? Because one kind of large Italian girl opens up her mouth far too much, which is par for the course with women like that, gets herself in trouble at work, and gets told she's not needed anymore. She wasn't fired. They didn't fire her. They weren't going to renew her contract. That's not firing. And everybody melts down. All right. Now they're that Aaliyah Kane, played by Katie O'Brien. First off, let me explain. Katie O'Brien is a former Ohio police officer. She's also a bodybuilder. I have never heard her speak on anything. She's being championed by at least one lesbo on Twitter, and now people are running with it. Oh, this woman's replacing Gina. Ugh. No, she's not. She's not replacing Gina at all. Okay? You'd actually have someone come in to play Cara Dune. I think they should recast her. Okay? Watch the Phantom Menace meltdown then. All right? Get the woman that played the female Tusken Raider. That chick is a badass. She's a stunt woman. She's a badass bitch. Okay, she's a badass. And there you go. All right. I think if Gina doesn't come back, she's showing the fans she didn't give a shit about you anyway. All right, look. Celebrities, when they do the fan outreach like she did with, aren't doing that because they want to be nice. Okay, look, Gerard Butler did that. Okay, they're doing that to get publicity for a movie that's coming out, or Gina wanted people to rally around her name. She hasn't really put anything out since that has been good. That movie that she made with the Daily, with Ben Shapiro's outfit. I shrug. Okay, she, so I can't defend her anymore. Okay, and again, if she says she's not coming back or has said she won't come back even if she's invited, she shows she has no loyalty to John and Dave. And if you say they didn't stick up for her, you don't know if they defended her or not. Okay? You don't know that. All right? So I don't care what people think. All right? John and Dave went probably to the mattresses to save her fucking ass and failed. Okay? And if she says, I don't want to come back, that's how little loyalty she has to the boys that brung her. Okay, because I didn't know who the hell she was. And 90% of the people parading around with pictures of her and her largeness didn't know who she was till she was Cara Dune, and then they first complained about her being a strong woman. And then when she started, shooting her wad on Twitter about the jab and about other things, they were all like, she's one of us. Fine. I know plenty of people I agree with politically that I just look at and cringe. And she's one of them now. Why? Because I see a woman who used the fans to justify waving her victimhood flag. And I don't care for women who do that. All right? I don't care for women. I mean, she's looking for white knights. She's supposed to be what? A mixed martial arts fighter and a champion? You're looking for a white knight? Give me a fucking break. All right? You know, she didn't stand up on her own and defend herself. All right? You know, when they bullied her, she went and cried on Ben Shapiro's shoulder. She didn't get in Kennedy's face. And there you go. Okay? And I would have, on the way out the door, I'd have gotten in front of her face and I would have said blah, 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 blah. And I would have left. And I would have told her to fuck off and die. Okay? That's what I would have said. All right? She didn't do that. She did an interview with Ben Shapiro and sat there with a smarmy voice and cried. Everybody knows that conservatives in Hollywood are fucking quiet. They have to be. All right? You know, Nick Searcy walked in to the SAG offices with his SAG card, tore it up, threw it on the desk, and walked out. Okay, he doesn't need SAG to get jobs. He works a lot. Okay, he's a friend of mine. He played the boss in Justified. He played the sheriff in The Fugitive. You know, so he works. Okay, and that's why you have to be. Just say, fuck you, I'm done. All right, I'm done. Okay, but you also, it's like, look, it's like a conservative working as a White House employee, not a political employee, White House employee, walking around on Twitter. That's exactly what this is. Okay? That's exactly what this is. All right? And that's the problem. Okay? So, what I think is going to happen, okay, is when Kennedy leaves, we'll see Rangers of the New Republic revived. And I honestly think we're going to see people, we're going to see maybe characters we love come back and lead the Rangers. And, you know, we might, because look, they have to fix the sequel trilogy, okay? The only reason why we were hearing about the Damon Lindelof bullshit is Kennedy was desperate to save the sequel trilogy. Now it's dead. All of that shit's dead. She's lucky she didn't get fired. She's lucky she's gonna be doubly lucky she doesn't get fired before the end of April. Okay, that's a knife edge her career is right now. Okay, so, all right, it's over. All right, Bob Iger's doing this. You cost us billions, Kathy. You cost Hasbro billions. Look, the rot of her bullshit has reached all the way to Black Series OT and Bad Batch figures. When I walked in to Ollie's and I saw Pondo Baba, Dr. Evasnen, and who else did I get? Oh, Mayfield, for $10 a piece? I was like, the rat has reached all the way into this part of Star Wars. Okay. But look, when you've got all those big channels, and I want to say one in particular, but I'm not gonna, bitching and moaning about everything. You know, look, first off, there's no reason to be negative right now. There really isn't. I gotta get that one, Ben. It's with all these layoffs going on. I look in 2019, after the Rise of Skywalker came and made everybody gag. I was like, there has to be a way out of this. They have to fix it. And oh my God, I looked at the stock price and started following that. Started seeing with the financial people. Talked to my own broker, and it was very interesting. These people are looking at the financials for Disney then and said there is a problem here. Back then. Now it's all for everybody to see. Anyway, I gotta go. So I'm gonna go check out Cameron's Patreon. You guys all have a good afternoon. And if something big happens today, I will do an upload and maybe I'll go live again. So see you guys around the galaxy. Behave, be safe. And I'm gonna try to drive again today. Oh, hey, Oiler Greg. Yep, Oiler Greg is right. Hey, dude, I'm already shutting down. I'm sorry. Okay, just we talked about all the news about Kennedy, and and the fact that Bob Iger is torturing her now, which is really funny. See you guys around the galaxy.